Does Texas A&M have more of a quarterback battle going on than I thought? After hearing from Coach Elko and Coach Klein, I kind of think so.
You are Locked On Aggies, your daily podcast on the Texas A&M Aggies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome on into Locked On Aggies. I'm your host, Andrew Stefaniak. Thanks for making Locked On Aggies your first listen every single day. Today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at LinkedIn. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. That's why LinkedIn Jobs helps find the right people for your team faster and for free. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. Terms and conditions do apply. So, ladies and gentlemen, we heard from Coach Elko and Coach Klein the end of last week. And some comments that they made about the quarterback room, I found very, very interesting. I'm going to read those comments to you, but first, I want to tell you why I find them interesting. And it's a very simple concept here. A, I think Connor Weigman isn't quite as healthy as I thought. And B, I don't believe that they are hyping Connor Weigman up like you would expect to hype up your guaranteed starter. So let's read these quotes, and I'll tell you why I think the things I think. So first quote here, got two quotes from Coach Elko, two quotes from Coach Klein. So first quote from Coach Elko. Mike Elko on Connor Weigman, still battling. He'll be out there practicing. I don't think he's where he'd like to be long-term, not that he's behind. We'll get into it. That's an interesting comment. He'd like to be healthier. He'll be able to work efficiently as a pocket passer. I'm not sure how much he'll be able to run around. So that's interesting there. Next quote, he does go on to say, Connor Weigman is going to go into spring as the number one guy, but we also have two other guys who play very efficiently. So interesting quote there. Quote from Coach Klein. This is Coach Klein on the quarterback room. It's a really good room. I've been very impressed with their study habits and their ability to get up to speed quickly in our system. In our system, we put a lot on the quarterback, and that's one of the things that makes it great because we can do a lot through that position. Coach Klein on Connor Weigman, he goes on to say, I have appreciated his grit and how he's pushing through and striving hard and working hard to get himself back to this point. It's going to be an exciting spring and really competitive. Across the board, we're trying to develop everyone on our side of the ball. Those are the quotes. I have lots of thoughts on these quotes. So first of all, my first thought here is this. What Coach Elko said, he'd like to be healthier. He got hurt. That Auburn game, it would have been the fourth game. We're going on. I know there was surgery, but we're getting to a point where it's like, okay, what's going on here? It's starting to get a little fishy. Is he healthy? Sounds like he's going to be out there practicing. Sounds like he'll be healthy for spring, healthy to be a pocket passer. But what makes Connor Weigman so effective is his sneaky athleticism, his ability to get outside of the pocket and run the football. Now, in spring, that doesn't really matter. Even if in the spring game, Connor Weigman's running around, he's got on a yellow, jersey, and he's not going to be getting hit. So it's like, it doesn't matter now. But still, it's not a report I'm excited about. It's simple as that. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I'm not excited to hear that report, and because that's not a pocket passer. Connor Weigman is a pocket passer, but he's also a sneaky athlete who can get out and make stuff happen with his legs. And if you take that away, he's not the quarterback I thought he was. And y'all every day here at Locked On Aggies know that I am number one Connor Weigman fan club. I am the Connor Weigman whisperer, the Connor Weigman truther. I believe Connor Weigman is a monster and he's in it for a huge season, but I was not stoked to hear the thoughts. It's funny because it was negative while being positive. No one said anything bad, Connor's struggling. This could be a tighter race than we thought. There was none of that. But it just seems like teams brand their quarterback. Teams like to, here's our quarterback, spotlight, videos, passes. And that's not the type of spotlight. And once again, I could be reading too much into it. What Coach Elko and Coach Klein had to say wasn't like, it wasn't super positive, I guess is what I'm getting at here. And it's interesting to me. I mean, we all knew that Jaylen Henderson and Marcel Reed are going to be in this race. We know that. We know that is reality here. We know this is a quarterback battle. But I think that I thought it was a quarterback battle, whatever. I still think that with Coach Elko saying Weigman's the guy right now, the door was always open for the other two, and it still is. And I still think they could win this job. But my confidence in Connor Weigman being the starting quarterback for Texas A&M for the first game of the season went from probably 95% to like 87% from this report. I'm still confident Weigman's going to be the guy, but something about this just seems fishy to me. And I do think you got to remember, I mean, we're talking, we're still in March. You got April, May, June, July. You got a ton of months before you're ready to go for, before August and September, and then the football season too. You got a lot of time. You got a lot of time to get fully healthy. Spring practice is important. It's great for these practices. I believe it's 15 practices to get these reps and then to get these reps and then to play in that game. I think those are valuable reps with some new receivers, some new weapons, new tight ends, new running back. But I don't think they're everything. I think that Connor Weigman's a hard worker. I think he's going to learn this offense quickly. And I think that these reps won't be the end of the world, but I still want to hear positive reports, every month. Connor's feeling better. Weigman, his legs feeling better. He's moving around a little bit more. You want to hear that. So I think there's a little bit of quarterback drama. I do. And y'all know, I mean, I wasn't budging on this Weigman's the guy, and I still think he's the guy, but I just have a feeling that Marcel Reed and Jaylen Henderson, they gained a little bit of steam. And maybe this is the coaching staff trying to push Connor Weigman to, keep fighting. And I've talked about that. Being a quarterback, having to look over your shoulder every day is a good thing because it makes you work harder. It's reality. So maybe this is a good thing. Maybe this is going to push Connor Weigman to work harder every day and to be a better version of himself and to practice harder and to rehab harder and to work harder in the weight room and get stronger and faster. I mean, there's could be positives here. I'm just, some of those quotes to me, and I'm going to say it one more time, I could be overreacting to a few quotes. There was nothing negative said. I'm trying to read between the lines of these quotes. And it just, to me, the verbiage that I heard wasn't super positive about everything we heard about, it wasn't negative, wasn't positive. It just was kind of in the middle. So hopefully Connor's able to get healthy. And if not, hopefully Marcel Reed and Jaylen Henderson are able to use these reps and get better themselves. I mean, once again, they are two incredibly gifted quarterbacks who I think Marcel Reed's the future. I really do. And maybe it's his time. It could be. It could be. So this is all going to be interesting. I think who starts at quarterback for Texas A&M, all three of these options can be dominant. All three of these options can take Texas A&M to a 9-3, 10-2 season. I really do believe that. But I think that if you want to have that miracle Cinderella run to a college playoff, I just think your the best odds of it happening is Connor Weigman. I think one more year in the system could serve Marcel Reed well to continue to learn the system, develop as a player, get bigger, faster, stronger every single day, like we always say. So that's my thoughts. But I mean, this is what I'm going to ask y'all. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on these quotes I read. Am I overreacting? I really want to hear y'all's thoughts because these quotes came out on Thursday, Friday when this press conference was. I forget now, but I pondered this all weekend. I sat and I thought, I'm like, am I overreacting to some comments? It didn't sit right with me. And it wasn't nothing wrong that Coach Elko did, nothing wrong that Coach Klein did. It was more just like, it wasn't there that Connor looks great. He's ready to lead this team. It wasn't any of that. It wasn't any of this, that kind of stuff. And he's a hard worker. He's learned that stuff was there, but none of this. He's looking great. The ball's flying out of his hand. Just none of that stuff. And I just think it's going to be interesting to see what ends up happening with the quarterback position in Texas A&M. And I really do believe that this race tightened up a little bit in my eyes. So let me know y'all's thoughts. Give me a percentage. What is your percentage chance that Connor Weigman is the starting quarterback for Texas A&M next season? And if he's not, who do y'all think is going to be the starter? So let me know all y'all's thoughts on this in the comments. I'm really, really curious to hear what y'all have to say about it. We're going to talk about Texas A&M's series victory over the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Great weekend from the staff. The hitters get it done. We'll have all of those conversations coming up right here on Locked On Aggies. But first, I want to tell you about our friends over at Nissan. This week's March Madness bracket highlight is brought to you by our friends at Nissan. Each week, we're picking one team that stands out, a team that's pushed it further than the rest, just like any of the new 2024 Nissan SUVs. These guys were able to take it to the next level. The North Carolina Tar Heels can only be described as the Nissan Armada. This one seed is as hardcore as it gets out there, so it's no wonder they secured a spot in the Sweet 16 this Thursday against Alabama in the NCAA Tournament. They're a favorite picked by many to make a run for a championship. Take the Nissan Rogue, Nissan Pathfinder, or Nissan Armada and go find your next big adventure. Shop NissanUSA.com today. Also want to tell you about our friends over at FanDuel. Say goodbye to busted brackets. I know we're all feeling that right now because FanDuel lets you bet on every game of the tourney. Whether you're betting on a big upset or a one seed, it's time to go dancing on America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. That's $200 to use on point spreads, money lines. You can even pick who's going to win it all. Just visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and bet on college hoops until they cut down the nets. Texas A&M plus 9.5. Got the job done for this guy. Head over to FanDuel. Have a great time. It's the best place to wager on all of your favorite sports. Go check them out. The Aggies get it done on the diamond, getting their first series win of SEC play, moving to 3-3 in conference play. After last week, you lose the series in Gainesville. And what does Florida go do this week? They take down LSU. Florida's the real deal. As I said, I know they struggled in the midweek, which makes zero sense, but they are the real deal on the weekend. Take one there. And then you're able to take down Mississippi State, at home. This is a series, just one of those get it done series. You win game 1, 6-3. Montgomery, 2 for 4. Grahovac, 2 homers, 5 RBIs. He's a beast, absolute beast. And then the pitching staff, Prager, 6.1 innings, 4 hits. I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry. 1 base on ball. Your pitching staff in the win over Mississippi State gives up 1 free base. And wait, because this is going to be a recurring theme, ladies and gentlemen. So that is the game 1 win for the Aggies on the diamond. Mississippi State is a team, they're coming off a surprising series win the week before. So they come to your place. Winning your series at home is huge. I've talked about my opinions on road baseball games, and just in general, but still winning your series at home, you got to win them all. Got to win them all. And you start on the right foot doing that by taking down Mississippi State in game 1. In game 2, you lose. The bats just don't show up. It was a pitcher's duel for a while. You get out hit in this game 11-5. Camarillo has 2 hits and the 1, RBI in this game. Big innings will kill you. Crooked numbers will kill you. So what happened in this game? The 5th inning, you get Mississippi State gets 5 runs in the 5th inning, and that's it. They score 5 runs the whole game, all in the 5th inning. This game was tight. You had the 1-run lead for a while, and then in the 5th inning, the Bulldogs of Mississippi State put up a 5 spot, and you weren't ever able to recover. Slowing the damage is massive in baseball. When you get a 1 spot or a 2 spot put up, you got to find a way to get out of the inning. Crooked numbers can't happen. You lose baseball games with crooked numbers. That means you got to be able to. And this staff, I think, all season long has done a pretty good job of pitching in high pressure situations. there's been some games where you've seen some high walk totals, some hit by pitches, and some base hits, and there's been some traffic on the bases, and this pitching staff's done a good job getting out of it more times than not. But in this game, you know, 5 walks, 2 hit by pitches, 11 hits. There was traffic on the bases, and that traffic turned into a big 5th inning for the Bulldogs, leading to the 5 spot, leading to the loss for Texas A&M. You aren't able to get the big hit. You only have 5 hits. You aren't able to get a grand slam like we saw from Grohovac. You aren't able to get anything like that in this game. And, of course, you lose this one 5-1. So that's takeaways there. You can't give up crooked numbers, can't give up big innings. And if you're going to give up a big inning, limit it to 3. No more than 3. Never more than 3. I'd like to say no more than 2, but 3 innings are going to happen. Never let it be more than 3. Happen in this game, you lose. Bats don't get going. So, of course, you wouldn't have won even if it was a 3-run inning because you only scored 1. But it's a little less daunting if it's 3-1 rather than 5-1. So that's my thoughts on that game. But on the series finale, going for a series victory, and the Aggies get the job done with a 6-1 victory. You out-hit Mississippi State 9-3 in this game. Let's go ahead, tip the cap, tip the cap. If you're wearing a cap, tip it to Lampkin. I mean, being a pitcher, that's my background. Pitched in college, and you just see a performance like this, and seriously, you tip your cap. What a game. Just Lampkin shove day, everybody, and it's going to become a national holiday. 7.1 innings, 7 1/3, 2 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 12 strikeouts, 1 walk in this game. Eschenbeck comes in, slams the door, doesn't let anything happen in those last his little last innings of work there. 2 games with 1 free base. I mean, I clap it up. I don't know what else to say. Y'all know walks drive me clinically insane. I cannot handle walks. They don't walk anybody. Throw strikes. I get this is the SEC. This isn't high school baseball. This isn't NAIA baseball. This is not what I was doing. I'm not sitting here. I'm not the guy eating chips on the couch saying throw strikes. What I'm saying is you can't walk people because the stats back it. Walks lead to runs. No out walks lead to runs. You can't let it happen. And in these 2 games, we see the difference here. Now, of course, you get 6 runs in each of the both games where you win. Only 1 run in the loss, but still 7 free bases compared to in the loss, 2 combined in the 2 wins. It's a theme there. You don't want to give out free bases because they turn into runs. Just the reality. It's just what happens in the game of baseball. So, Lampkin and Prager, seriously, tip the cap to those 2. Incredible performances. This pitching staff's great. When these bats are hot, this team can beat anybody. This team can truly beat anybody. So, every time I see this team play, in Mississippi State, I give them credit. They are better than I thought they were. I thought they were on their way to another rough season. They're going to be pretty good, I think. They're sitting in the same. I believe now they're 3-3 in SEC play. Or did they sweep? Whatever. They're the 3-3 and 4-2, but they're better than I thought they were. Credit to them. That's a good baseball team that Texas A&M was able to take down in the series in front of their home crowd. So another big series coming up this weekend. The Auburn Tigers are coming to town. Auburn, a team who they're 1-5 in SEC play. They got a tough go of it, though. I was looking at their numbers. They started SEC play in Nashville against the Vanderbilt Commodores, get swept there. Then they host the Arkansas Razorbacks, win one of those 2 at home. Auburn is not a bad baseball team. They've played a couple of tough ball games early in the year. Texas A&M is a better baseball team. I would say the Mississippi State team that was in town last weekend is very similar to this Auburn team in how good they are. I would love to see Texas A&M win this game. Win this series. Would love a sweep. Now I can sit here and say that all day. Of course, who wouldn't love a sweep? But winning series is everything. If you win your series, you're going to, win. Try and win every series. You win every series, you're going to host a regional. Very simple, very, very simple concept. If you win all of your series, you will host a regional. Take down Auburn in this series. Their staff's fine. Their hitters are fine. They got this kid, Ike Irish, who can swing it. We'll break down this series more. They got a kid, Cooper McMurray, who's hitting the ball well. they're playing okay baseball. They're playing fine baseball. But at the end of the day, it's a team you can beat. It's a series you should win. So, stick to it. You're 3-3. So if you win this series, you'll be, you'd be 5. Okay, hold on. I'm really, just for the record, I like to think I'm pretty smart. I just don't like to do math, because when I do math, it's when I sound, 5-4. I knew that in my head. Oh, that sounds weird. I want to add that caveat. Math isn't my thing. I didn't want to say something silly on a silly number like that. I wanted to write it out. But beside the point, it'd be 5-4 in SEC play if you win the series. I'd love a sweep. The point here is you need to find a way to win this one against an Auburn team that's good, not great. So, huge win, a series win for the baseball team. Another tough weekend of baseball coming up. It's the SEC. Every series is going to be tough. Excited to see how the Aggies play this upcoming weekend. We'll talk about Texas A&M's loss to Houston on the hardwood and the season coming to an end coming up right here on Locked On Aggies. But first, I want to tell you about our friends over at LinkedIn Jobs. When you're hiring for your small business, you want to find quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. LinkedIn isn't just another job board. LinkedIn has a vast network of more than 1 billion professionals, which makes it the best place to hire. It gives you access to professionals you can't find anywhere else. LinkedIn does all that while making the process easy and intuitive. Hiring is easy when you have that many quality candidates. So easy, in fact, that 80% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockdowncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockdowncollege. Post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. So the basketball team is done. The season is over after an overtime loss to Houston. I broke this loss down on a little bonus episode yesterday in case y'all missed it. This team deserved one more conversation about them before the year ends, so I wanted to have it again today for those who missed that episode. Boots Radford gives you 27 points, 10-22, 1-2 from deep, 15 rebounds. Wow. I wonder if that's a career high. I have to look at that. Obaski gives you 15 points. And then Wade Taylor just has one of his worst games of the season. Wade Taylor is what kept you in the game against Houston the first time these two basketball teams met. But he just couldn't get anything done in this game. He's 5 of 26 from the field, 3 of 13 from three. It's funny, 21 points, but I mean, you shot the ball 26 times, so that is not a great number. 7 rebounds, 3 assists. It's a game where you out-rebound Houston 49-35. You grab 26 offensive rebounds to their 11, which is insane. I don't have the second chance points in front of me. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Of course, they don't have that because why would they? It would make too much sense to have that on ESPN. But, I think that you lose the game. If you could have gone that thing to a double overtime, I think you win because Houston, their whole team had fouled out. So if you find a way to get that thing to overtime, I think to double overtime, you win. Shout out to Anderson Garcia for making that 3-pointer that got this game into overtime. Great for him. It was great to see that incredible shot from him. But, the Aggies lose. Season's over. Before we talk about where do we go from here for the Aggies on the hardwood, I mean, that's really it on this game. You weren't able to hit your free throws, which is frustrating. You hate that. Couldn't hit the free throws. And, of course, Wade Taylor has his worst game of the year. Those two things really came on top of one another and were the difference in this game. But, at the end of the day, I'm proud of this team for what they did. What I said on the recap yesterday, no one I think was expecting this team to be where they are right now. We were talking about, hey, are they going to make the NCAA tournament? I didn't think they were, but still proud of this team and the way they fought to get into the NCAA tournament by making a run in the SEC tournament, beating Kentucky. Proud of that. Proud of what they did down the stretch of the regular season. Just all around proud of this team. Proud of Coach Williams for really rallying this team to make a run. So that's kind of my thoughts on the season. I mean, just proud of these players, proud of this coaching staff for doing everything they could for this team to make the run they did, beat Nebraska, and take down Kentucky in the SEC tournament. But now going forward, I think you're going to see Coach Buzz Williams make some serious moves in the portal. I think this defense we were fine with. Rebounding this team is elite. At the end of the day, you have to find a way to score. Wade Taylor, love Wade Taylor, but he did not have the season. I mean, there was a lot of games with stat lines somewhat similar to what he had today, where, he scored 21 points. That's great. But he was 5 of 19. He was 5 of 26. He was 7 of 24. We need some more efficient scorers. So I think you're going to see Coach Williams go do that in the portal. He's already reached out to some players in the transfer portal. I think you're going to see some serious transfers come in that hopefully elevate this team offensively. I don't think we got everything we expected out of the transfers this year, and I think that Coach Elko is going to not make that mistake again. I think he realizes he needs more offensive production, so I think he's going to go get that. I think you also need more of a legit guy down low with Marble not playing, not with the team. You didn't have what you expected to have down low. So I think you need a legit big guy down there, and I think that you need more scoring. You can go get a couple pieces from the portal. This Texas A&M team is going to make a run next year. I think they're going to be good. I think you're going to have the talent there. This roster will be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see who leaves, who stays, who comes back, what happens with all of that. And we'll cover this team, of course, throughout the offseason. We'll discuss who's coming back, what's this roster look like, any commits, any portal commits. We will break all of that down all offseason. Love Texas A&M basketball. Proud of this team, and I'm excited to see where Coach Williams takes this squad in the future. Good for him for what he was able to do based on where this team was a month ago. But yeah, where we go from here on the program, I think you're going to see some portal players come in, and I can't wait to see who those guys are. Hopefully some legit offensive weapons. Hopefully you get a legit guy down low. And I think Texas A&M basketball is in a really good spot. Let me know all these things in the YouTube comments. What are your thoughts on this quarterback conversation? Is there any drama there? Is there no drama there? I'm curious to hear y'all's thoughts on that. Proud of this baseball team. And then if you have any thoughts on basketball, leave them in the comments. Any concerns going forward, anything like that, where this program needs to go, who do we want out of the portal, let me know those things. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It helps the show a ton. Appreciate it a lot. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Hope everybody has an outstanding Monday and a great rest of your week. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Locked On Aggies, and we will see you tomorrow.